In the battle against communism, the Courier, a ship without guns, goes into battle armed with the greatest weapon of all, truth.
Cold War newsreels about the Coast Guard VOA partnership sound dated to some. But for people on both sides of the Iron Curtain, separating the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe from the West, the struggle between communism and democracy was very real. Bob Marriott was part of the Courier's original Coast Guard crew.
We were real proud of our job. We got through to people that couldn't hear the truth, and we kept working to get that message across, and it made us feel good to know that they got the truth from somewhere that in their native countries was censored.
Along with news, listeners behind the Iron Curtain also relished VOA's musical and cultural programming. Jazz great Louis Armstrong made this VOA station ID during Willis Conover's iconic jazz program.
This is the voice of America. Washington, D.C.
To relay its broadcasts, the Courier used antennas far more powerful than land-based AM stations. Maintaining a clear signal when the Soviets tried to disrupt or jam VOA broadcasts was a constant challenge that Bob Marriott likens to a high-stakes game of cat and mouse.
We were matching our wits against the guy in Russia that was trying to jam us, and we took pride in having a couple extra frequencies available so that when he lined up on our frequency on that particular receiver, we clicked him off and got another one and kept the program going. We were the tip of the bayonet. It felt real good.
Unlike most military ships, the Courier did not carry heavy armaments or weaponry, much less bayonets. It relied on Navy vessels to come to its aid if the need arose, which sometimes happened. The Courier and VOA crews, along with their money, were a boon to Rhodes itself, which had been nearly destroyed during World War II, says Maria Lowther, a Greek who had come to the island as a refugee and later married a Coast Guardsman.
We didn't have enough money to have food on the table. And all of a sudden, the ship appears and the money started flowing. But above all, it was the dignity of the people that was saved. The American spirit was absolutely unbelievable.
The families of Coast Guard and VOA personnel lived on Rhodes, where they bonded with the islanders. The visitors also feasted on the American spirit the VOA provided, especially in the form of rock and roll.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on.
Denise Clemens was an American teenager whose father was an engineer aboard the Courier. She recalls the affections of one Greek.
I had a boy who was crazy about me, and that was because of those VOA broadcasts, because he wanted a ticket to America. And he decided I was his ticket. And so every time I'd walk anywhere, he'd be riding his bicycle around and around me singing "You Are My Destiny" by Paul Anka at the top of his lungs. He might not know any other English, but he knew those words.
That boy never did win Denise's hand. For their part, the American Coast Guardsmen and their families consider themselves winners many times over. As one veteran officer who attended the U.S. Coast Guard Academy's commemorative exhibit put it, "It almost makes you cry. We made lifelong friends and comrades, and we helped win the Cold War without firing a shot." Not bad at all. Adam Phillips, VOA News, New London, Connecticut.